Bogard scot-free in every sense of the word. I keep my hands clean, sanitized. I've been analyzed the streets, found a way. Now I charge you find his feet. Moutier, the lifestyle blinding me. Gotta be an angle here. It's all geometry. It was all a dream. Like the late great notorious, the road less traveled, the road less glorious.
The abyss of these bubble weight bitches. Still I rise in the midst of demons, blocking views and pictures on the slide of future menus. Looks bright on the new venues. Pressed it on wax, watch the saga continue. Lessons, the facts, it's all something we've been through. But when pain's no longer holding pain, that's just something I don't do. Ventilation's a healthy process to a regimen focused with lit views. Don't fall for traps, don't be confused, don't let them get you.
What's up, everybody? Welcome in. I'm JC Money. This is my man, Coach Craig. We're going to talk a little bit of basketball today. It's only 2 games, so probably be a little shorter of a show today, but guess what, everyone? Got my internet fixed, so we don't got to worry about any of that shit anymore. Super stoked. How you been, brother?
I'm doing all right. So I did not win a big chunk of cash last night. I only ended up getting 27, so made a little bit of money, but nothing crazy.
Better than being in the red. Definitely tell you that. Yeah, I mean, I did all right last night. I think we're just have to switch up the strategy a little bit here, I think.
I mean, for the Wild Six, didn't do too hot because Tyler Hero kind of sucks. So, but for the main slate, I got 27.
Yeah, I actually made some money on that. It wasn't just, I mean, who did really well was who you said was going to do well, PJ.
Yeah, I was just joking around. Well, Caleb Martin got hurt again in like 10 minutes into the game too.
Yeah, PJ, he was like this. I think he was the second best. Who was that other one? Barrett or not? RG Barrett. What's his name? Like Johnson or
I don't know who you're talking about.
Some dude on the last night on the slate last night went fucking bananas. Like he had over 110 points or something like that, I think.
Trying to think of who that'd be, but
Disto Ray.
Let's see. Devin Booker had like 60 something before the Coach Amper Champ multiplier.
Last night. Let's talk about last night.
Bro, you just said Tobias Harris.
Oh, well, I don't even see it on here.
We got our friend up in here. We have a friend.
What's up, dude? What's up, Andrew?
Yep. So that's what he's saying. So he said Kyrie, Curry, Harden, Wiggins, Durant, Embiid, Jokic. So I think there's going to be a lot of lines that kind of look like this where there's like they got the 3 big guards there. They got Durant, they got Embiid, and they got Jokic. And then it's kind of like that last spot. So I think that's one way of the build tonight. He also said possible replacements is Monty Morris and Tobias Harris. So Monty Morris has actually been playing really well lately. He's in my core for DraftKings and FanDuel. We'll get talking about him in a little bit, but I'm considering playing him myself. Tobias Harris, like ever since James Harden's been there, he's just kind of fallen off a cliff. So
I sent you an invite, Andrew. If you want to come on and talk with us, it's all good, brother. You know you're always welcome to come on to the show, my man.
Yeah.
What's up, David? What's up, brother? Appreciate you.
You weren't the first comment today.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I sent it out to you specifically. I was like, oh shit, I forgot to send out messages, so I'll send it out to my buddy David.
Yeah.
But yeah, what's up, everybody? Welcome everybody coming in. Appreciate y'all being here. So let's get to it, man. Let's get to talking about some of the stuff from last night.
If you grab up the notes, we can talk a little bit about yesterday. So
absolutely pulling it up right now, my brother. Oh yeah, it's crazy now that the speed's a little bit faster. I can start pulling some of this up right away.
Yeah. And then, so I had the studs here. Some of these guys, there's a couple of people that probably outperformed, like Bobby Portis and Russell Westbrook, but they had nice games, so I kind of mentioned them anyways. But Jonas Valanciunas was really, really good yesterday. 65.75 points, 125 multiplier, over 82 points last night. He's a guy that was a big-time dud the night before, so not many people played him yesterday. So it just happened to pay off there. He's a guy to consider tomorrow because CJ McCollum is out tomorrow due to COVID protocol already. Brandon Ingram's dealing with that hamstring, so there might be some value on this Pelicans team tomorrow. And Jonas Valanciunas might be part of that value. Then we have Bobby Portis. He got to 54.25 before the multiplier, 1.45 multiplier, got 67.81. So a very good game for him yesterday. I think he had 15 rebounds. Nice little double there. Jason Tatum was hot last night, so he had 67.75 points, 1.15 multiplier, got 77.91. He had 44 real life points, so
Yep.
I'm not sure if that's the highest in his career or not. I'd have to look that up off the top of my head, but it's got to be up there for sure. And then Russell Westbrook finally remembered how to play basketball. Oddly enough, he had 30 real life points, had 8 rebounds, 4 or 5 assists, block, something like that. Actually played pretty well, 50.5, 1.3 multiplier, gets 65.65. So decent night for him. I'm giving him a little bit of love just because he's been terrible most of the year.
And what sucks too about Russell Westbrook now is him having one good game, his multiplier will bump up. Because it was up before.
He's been all the way up to 1.15 before. Then he dropped down to 1.2 and then 1.3. I think he skipped 1.25 altogether, though.
He's been doing super bad.
Yeah, he's just been really bad this year, obviously. And they were talking about benching him for a long time, too. So apparently he got his ass in gear. But, lots there. I mean, that game did go into overtime, too. So it helped boost it up a little bit. But he's still probably over 60 points without the overtime. But Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, in terms of our duds, 22.75 points, 1.15 multiplier, got to 26.1 or 26.16. He shot 2 for 15 from the field yesterday. That is not good.
Nope.
So don't have to say too much there. Then we have Jaylen Brown, who was on the opposite end of Jason Tatum, which, those guys kind of, when one of them goes off, it's kind of hard for the other one to go off too.
Yep.
So you got 25.25, 1.25 multiplier, got 31.56. Not somebody you really want to play yesterday. Anthony Edwards, once again, it's Anthony Edwards. He's not been helping your team out if you've been playing him lately. Obviously, he's dealt with some injuries and everything, too. He's not a guy that was on my radar because I wasn't even sure he was going to play last night. 27.75, 1.25 multiplier, 34.69 points. And then we had LaMelo Ball once again, 28 points, 1.2 multiplier, got to 33.6. That game ended up being a little bit of a blowout by the end of it, too.
Terry did good, though. Terry already did an all right show. I mean, he had an all right showing.
Who?
You get Terry Rozier? He got me.
He got a little less than 50, I think, after the multiplier.
I got to look for that.
He was okay. He wasn't good like he typically is against his former team, but he wasn't terrible either. So he didn't make the list at least. Then in terms of the dart throws that we had yesterday, Sengun, obviously 53.75 points, 1.75 multiplier, 94.06 points. Obviously, once Christian Wood was ruled out, he looked pretty good. The biggest thing on SuperDraft is you can only play him on center. When you in DraftKings and FanDuel, you can play him at power forward, so it was easy to play him and Jokic together on those sites. On SuperDraft, you had to make the choice whether you want to play Jokic or Sengun. Obviously, we went back and forth in a couple of lineups. We built a couple of lineups that I built personally. So if you had exposure to both were very good yesterday. So I honestly, there was 3 really good centers yesterday because we had Sengun, we had Valanciunas, and we had Jokic all together too. So those all 3 of those guys got at least 77 points last night. Then we had Aaron Wiggins, who he scored 33 real life points, I believe it was. He had 46.25 points, 2x multiplier, 92.5 points. They didn't really have anybody else on their team. Lindley Waters ended up starting, who I said should never be in the NBA to start with. So he actually ended up playing 28 minutes for some god reason, but and they played our boy Povachevsky only 17 for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a blowout. It was a blowout either way. So, and Aaron Wiggins had a nice night. Then we got to talk about your Timberwolves boy here, Malik Beasley. He got 45.25 points, 1.8 multiplier. He got to 81.45 points. He made 11 3-pointers last night.
Malik Beasley, more like it.
So that is a Timberwolves record for most 3-pointers in a game, by the way, too. So very solid game for him. Then we had KJ Martin down at the bottom, 34.25. He had the 1.85 multiplier, 63.36. If you want to call him Kenyon Martin Jr., you can do that too. A lot of people just refer to him as KJ Martin anyway. So,
yeah,
he's a dude. When he gets minutes, he plays well, but doesn't always get the minutes.
It's crazy as we were talking about him a lot last night because we kept going through KJ, Kenyon Martin Jr. Like, why is the junior on there?
He's not his dad. He's
talking about me. Go off.
I don't think Kenyon Martin Jr. I don't think he was drafted. His dad was obviously the number 1 pick way back when. God, what was that? Is that the 2000 class, 2001 class? Year before, I believe, is the year before Kwame Brown. Let's see what we got up in here. David's got a couple of things popping up in here too. So you said
lineups. Love it.
Seth Curry, Klay Thompson, James Harden, Joel Embiid, Tobias Harris, Andrew Wiggins, and Drummond. That's definitely a different one. That's a way to get different. I'm not sure if that's going to be one of the ones at the top, but we'll just have to see. And then the other one he had was Kyrie Irving, Thompson, Poole, Tobias Harris, Kevon Looney, Joel Embiid, and Jokic. Why does everybody like Tobias Harris tonight? I don't get it.
I don't have him anywhere, but I have Kevon Looney, I think, and
Looney last time he played against the Nuggets had 36 points before the multiplier, so he's definitely in play. He's going to be out there on the court just a little bit more with Jokic out there because they don't really have another big man. We'll see how it turns out.
No, I like that call. We're going to get into some lineups, but yeah.
So you got another one with Kyrie, Thompson, Poole, Kuminga, Harris, Durant, and Embiid. I feel like tonight you almost have to play Embiid at forward just because you're either playing Jokic or you're playing Drummond at center.
Yeah.
But we'll get into the guards in play here. So the guards that are in play tonight, at least for me, we got James Harden obviously at the top. It's James Harden. It's quote unquote a revenge game because he just got traded from the Nets to
a revenge game, dude. It's going to be 100%.
So I won't be surprised when he has a big night. He's probably going to be, if not the highest owned player, probably top 3 on the slate. Embiid might just be the highest just because you can play him at forward and center. Then we have Steph Curry 1.05. He's probably the least guy up here, but on a slate like tonight, he's definitely somebody that's in play. Kyrie Irving at 1.2. Obviously, we've seen him score 50 real life points the last time out. He had a really good game. Don't expect that to happen once again. He shot 15 out of 19 from the field and like 11 out of 13 from his free throws too. So one of the best games of his career. It's probably not going to happen again tonight, but he's still definitely in play at 1.2. Tyrese Maxey there at 1.4, not coming off the best game, but he's played pretty well since they had James Harden. He played pretty well before that too, so he's definitely an option. Klay Thompson at 1.45, you can definitely take a look at. Probably a guy that gets you right around 30 points. If he does a little bit more, then he looks a little bit better. Then we have Monte Morris at 1.65. He's a guy that I kind of like. If he gets to 30, he looks decent. Jordan Poole's kind of that same way. Jordan Poole's been playing a little bit better as of late, getting a little bit more minutes coming off the bench. In terms of the high dart throw or the multipliers and the high dart, I can't even talk right now. Dart throws and high multipliers. Bruce Brown 1.75. He's been playing really, really well for the Nets as of late. He's a guy that's in at least one of my lineups tonight. We got Moses Moody at 1.9. Probably ends up starting once again for the Golden State Warriors. He ended up playing 30 minutes last night. The game before he played big minutes, but that's when everybody else was out. So if he plays enough minutes, if there's some blowout run, he probably looks good. But not a guy I'm really trying to get to myself. I got Austin Rivers up there at 2x as well, just in case some of those Nuggets guys end up missing once again, and he just has a hot shooting night. It happens every once in a while. But there's like the case that Will Barton doesn't play tonight. Jeff Green doesn't play tonight. Aaron Gordon is probable, but we've seen him go from probable to out in multiple games this year. So I take that with a really, really light grain of salt when it comes to Aaron Gordon. In terms of forwards is not as great tonight. That's pretty much why I'm playing Embiid like as a forward in all my lineups. So we got Kevin Durant at 1. We got Andrew Wiggins at 1.45. We got Aaron Gordon at 1.6. Those are really the guys. You can look at some of the other guys. You can look, maybe that's why everybody's kind of saying Tobias Harris, but I'd rather play like a high multiplier dart throw type of guy instead of Tobias Harris at this point. There's Kevon Looney. You could play Kuminga, that's a 2x2 as well. You could play Nemanja Bjelica at 2x. If some of these other guys don't, like say Aaron Gordon doesn't play and Jeff Green don't play, then maybe you could play a Zeke Naji. Well, Zeke Naji is questionable. I don't think he's going to play on the back-to-back. So you could look at a JaMychal Green in that case.
Dude, I was just going to ask about him.
If Aaron Gordon and Jeff Green don't play, even if Jeff Green doesn't play and Zeke Naji doesn't play, maybe you look at JaMychal Green in that case too.
He's a 2x multiplier, I believe, right?
Yeah, he's a 2 times multiplier. What's his name? Reed started last night too, but he only played like 24 minutes. So I guess you could look at him, but he's not a really good fantasy point producer.
I was looking back at some of his games from the previous when he actually had some time, and he actually had a couple games over 30 points.
And he had like 2 games the whole season that he's done anything. So, and like that's before they had Bryn Forbes too. Like the games that he had, like did anything, and now they have Forbes, so Forbes is just going to play some too. And Like if you're looking for a guard that nobody's going to play, that's a high multiplier. You could look at Brent Forbes as some of those guys are out for Denver, but it's just that game's the later game too. So it's like we don't know what that's going to look like by the time the first game starts either. In terms of the centers there in play, we got Joel Embiid, we got Nikola Jokic, and we got Andre Drummond. Pretty simple there. There is no real high dart throw or multiplier for the center position. So for me, I'm just playing Jokic or Drummond at center. I'm playing Embiid at forward, and then I'm going from there.
Yep, I agree. You stick with Embiid at forward. And, I mean, Drummond's a good play too, but, I mean, Joker's pretty safe.
Yeah, he is, but like, so there is a case like with the Nuggets you could make that says Will Barton's out, Jeff Green's out, Aaron Gordon's out, and they just get blown out by the Warriors. And then Joker gets to 48 or something. So then Embiid and Drummond could both be better than him in that case.
Yeah.
I mean, like, and technically, if you really want to throw a dart throw down there, you could put Nick Claxton there and just hope Andre Drummond gets in foul trouble, and then like he does well, which I assume he wouldn't do well against Joel Embiid anyway. So that's not really something I'd like to bet on. I think technically on SuperDraft he's forward eligible too, but yeah.
Yeah, he is. Yep, Claxton is definitely forward eligible.
Yeah.
So, you want to talk some injuries at all?
Let's go over here. Okay, so for Nets, LaMarcus Aldridge, Ben Simmons is out. Ben Simmons will be on the bench tonight, probably getting booed by all the Philadelphia fans. Then for the 76ers, Danny Green's out tonight. So Matisse Thybulle is going to get some more minutes than he probably would. He's probably going to play more minutes anyways because he's going to be guarding Kevin Durant, which honestly is not like if you were going to pick one defender in the NBA to guard Kevin Durant, it might be Matisse Thybulle. He's one of the best defenders in the league. Yes, he's only 6'5", but he's got like a 7-foot wingspan too, which Kevin Durant's 6'11", and his wingspan's like 7'4". But if there's any guy that could maybe do it or have the best matchup of it, it might be Matisse Thybulle. Then we have Golden State. They're without Draymond Green, Andre Iguodala, Gary Payton II, and Otto Porter Jr. again. For Denver, they were without Cam Carr, Murray, Michael Porter once again, Zeke Naji, Bones Highland, Jeff Green, Will Barton are all questionable, and then Aaron Gordon is probable, but I always already mentioned that Aaron Gordon's been probable multiple times this year and has not played in some of those games. So once you see it that many times, it's just like, it's a foot injury too, supposedly, due to a sore foot.
All right, let's see.
And they are playing their fourth game in 5 nights. So I would not be surprised if he doesn't play.
I want to look up some of this RotoWire stuff so we can kind of avoid, whatever.
RotoWire likes happy people. RotoWire's lineup is terrible.
I know their lineups usually are pretty damn terrible, man.
And the thing on their optimizer. So the thing with their
go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Hold on. The thing on their optimizer is they never put Joel Embiid in the forward spot either.
Yeah, that's crazy. So here's the thing: I just might start playing a 5-cent lineup against our lineups to see what, because SuperDraft does go off of RotoWire. We can definitely tell that, obviously, because all their information comes off of that.
The pro picks.
Not only that, obviously all their information comes off there too. Any of their like news, any of that other stuff comes from there. So that's the thing.
Yeah. So if you just run their optimal and just don't touch anything, it's Kyrie Irving, Klay Thompson, Jordan Poole, Tobias Harris, Kevon Looney, Kevin Durant, Nikola Jokic. It never puts Embiid in there. I messed around earlier because I put my own projections in too. So if you just take their lineup and you take Tobias Harris out and put Embiid in, it's not a terrible lineup with Kyrie Irving, Klay Thompson, Jordan Poole. Probably switch out Jordan Poole for like James Harden. That would make more sense.
Oh, did you generate one? Like I just tried to generate one right now and it says that it's ineligible.
Yeah, it worked. It worked for me 2 seconds ago.
Weird.
They don't like you.
I know, and I even pay for it.
That's even worse.
No. All right, screw you then, RotoWire. I see how it is. Hating on me. Anyways, let's get into making some lineups. And once again, I appreciate everyone being here. It's awesome that you guys come and hang out with us. I mean, Craig and I have been having a blast working together. So yeah, it's a great relationship that we have, and we appreciate you guys being here with us. So let's get into making some money.
Yeah, it's gonna be real simple tonight because there ain't much difference you can do, especially on like SuperDraft, like on DraftKings and FanDuel. You can mix it up with all the cheap guys way more, but they're just high dart throw guys on, high multiplier guys on SuperDraft. And like, if I'm putting in a $3,100 in Nemanja Bjelica on DraftKings, I only need him to get to 18 points to pay off. If I play him on SuperDraft at 18 points, he only gets to 36 with the 2x multiplier. That's not helping me.
So let's see here. So we got 3 lineups to set.
Woo. So it looks like we got Leroy up in here too. He said, "Long time no see." Thanks,
Leroy. What up, man?
So yeah, we were gone for a little while with the combine and everything.
Yeah, I mean, and then just so you guys know, we're going to have some stuff coming up here soon where we're going to talk about the combine. We got a guy there, my man Craig, out there on the front line, putting in the work, I'm stoked to be talking about what you saw there. Like, cause I'm mad jealous. I told you every single day how jealous I was of you being there.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm not feeling good. I'm still jealous. I don't care if you're not feeling good. I want to be there not feeling good with you.
Yeah. I think I got like a sinus infection or something now, but
yeah, probably. I mean, it's crazy. I think it's just this whole like weather change and shit. It happens here too. Like, it'll be really nice one day, and all of a sudden it'll get super damn cold, and then the next day it'll be really
down
nice.
Down there is like 66 too.
That's probably what it is. Just the change of like weather and climate and anything like that. I mean, it's pretty damn flat there, isn't it?
What?
Said it's pretty damn flat there, isn't it? Indiana.
Yeah. Still crying. Russell Wilson trade hurts. Well, like they got a decent amount for him. It's hard for Seattle fans, but you gotta rebuild at some point.
You want my honesty? I'm not that upset about Russell Wilson leaving. I like Russell Wilson and everything like that, but wasn't he the one? I can't even blame him. It's the coach, not him. He didn't make the call. Interception for the Super Bowl win. Like,
I mean, he could have audibled it. We don't know.
Yeah, he definitely could have audibled.
Like he could have, like they could call 2 plays in the huddle, and he's just like, "Screw it, we're throwing the slant."
No, yeah. He's like,
I want that glory.
For it. I mean, I'm not super sad. We're not gonna. I'm tell you right now. I mean, Seattle's my second favorite, and I'm not even somebody who's like I like all teams. I mean, I'm more of a players kind of guy. Like I'm a Vikings fan just because I live here. But I mean, I like the Seahawks. I mean, I like the Panthers. The places that I've lived in life, those are like the teams I kind of root for. But Seattle, like I like that the move for Denver is good, and I think Seattle will make some kind of move to either draft a QB or they'll bring in some kind of veteran. And Drew Lock being there, he'll be the backup. There's no way they go into the season with him. I mean, if they do, I mean that's crazy. If they do, then they're intentionally wanting to be a lower skill team.
Well, what if they go into the season with him and he does well?
I don't see it. I don't know. I don't see it. I'm not a big Drew Lock fan. Never have been. Like I wasn't. I mean, even like I said, Teddy Bridgewater going there. Everyone thought it was going to be a big change. I didn't think that either. I think they're about equal. They're just different quarterbacks. They're different styles of quarterbacks. That
Teddy sucks. Like at least with Drew Lock,
he's a bridge quarterback.
He's not even that. He's a good. Like he's a backup. He's a fill-in backup.
He said he went to one game. He's a jinx because he broke his finger. Oh, damn. He's at the game Griffey broke his wrist, too. That's all right.
Quit going to games.
Right now, sometimes I feel like I am, too. A jinx to players, but it happens.
Yeah, let's get building, though.
Let's get building. All right, Bob.
I got to make this bigger so I can see what the heck you're doing here.
This is just my initial kind of look. Obviously, we can make some changes.
There we go. So, yeah, I think you start with Jokic and Embiid in this one. We'll play Harden in a different line. And then, I mean, this isn't bad the way it is.
Yeah, we'll leave. I'm gonna leave my initial on one of them. We can also build. I mean, I'm sure that we.
I like playing Harden a lot. And then, like, I think you can just play like a real basic one though too, where you play Steph, like a guard, and you just play Kevon Looney and just set that as the first one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, cool.
Like Poole's a fine dart throw in like one of the lineups, but I think
taking out Wiggins and throwing it.
Yeah, put Looney in.
I like Looney. I think he could do very well tonight.
I like Looney coming out of college, so I'm biased. Oh, he was also a power forward at that point, a very skinny power forward. Now he's a center.
He must have played for Kansas.
No, he played for God. Who did he play for? It's been a while. He got hurt in college. He hurt his knee though.
So first lineup, we went with Harden, Curry, Irving, all ballers.
He played for UCLA.
What's up?
He played for UCLA.
This lineup should be all right. Like I said, I want.
It's basic though, so there's going to be a lot of lineups very, very similar to that one tonight. That's the worst part about playing 2-game slates is there's very little variance, especially when you talk like SuperDraft perspective.
I agree. So let's go here. Let's throw Drummond.
I'd like to play a lineup that doesn't play Durant.
Yeah. The only thing is like I think a lot of people will be off of Durant with how bad he played last time. You know,
doesn't matter.
Some people get scared from that, but to me, it's something where like I'll come back to it right away.
Yeah. So I like to play one without him. I like. But if I do that, what do I want to do with the rest of it? I'm still playing Harden. But if you play one with Harden, Clay. And then, God, because who are you going to put in the last forward spot? Let's play Kuminga.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. I've been thinking about it all day. Honestly, I've been looking at these lineups.
I could have swore he was at 1 point, or I could have swore he was at 2 earlier.
No, I think he's always been at 1.85, and because Poole was like right underneath him. Maybe last year, at the end of the last year, he might have been.
Last year, he's a rookie.
No, 2000. I'm talking about we're in 2021 at the end of the year. I just said, bro. Last year, not last season.
Same thing.
It's not the same.
I don't think of it like that. Okay.
Now, the one thing I do like about this is that they at least have the updated stats for basketball because that's really helpful, especially when we do it every night. Like Kuminga, I mean, he's had a couple of good games here and there. Like if he gets even it's just random because sometimes he has a good game, less playing time.
Sometimes he starts and he sucks, and then when he comes off the bench and he scores like 30. It makes when you think about it from a logical perspective, it doesn't make sense. But when you actually sit down and think about it, yeah, he's going to do better off the bench when he's playing with guys that aren't as good as Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. Because he's going to have more. It's like when you look at Kevon Looney, the games that he actually scores like real life points, it's because everybody else, like all the good players, are sitting. Then he scores 12 real life points, and the games when they don't sit, then he plays like gets 2 or 4 points.
What is this right here?
That's the All-Star game. That's the Rising Stars game.
Oh, he had 0 minutes. He played 0 minutes, and he still had an assist and a free throw. Or was it?
Don't calculate the minutes right for that one. Don't worry about that.
That's some talent. That's some talent right there. He's like off the bench. Fucks one up.
There's no out of bounds in this game.
What's up, Antonio?
Yeah. But I think you do that with this one. Just put Kuminga in this one. We'll set that, and then we'll go to the next one. We'll play like Jokic and Embiid again. And then I think we'll take Kyrie out of the next one, and we'll play Monty Morris.
Oh, that shit's funny. That is funny.
Get more updates about tomorrow's games already. It's like this guy's not playing tomorrow already. Did you get that one set already?
Yep, I said it.
Then I'd like to not play Kyrie in this one. I like to play Monty Morris.
I was looking at him earlier too.
Antonio. Knicks 2-game winning streak. I'm shocked. I actually bet on the Knicks last night with their SuperDraft coins to win because they were like plus 320 or something like that. So I put like 200 SuperDraft coins on them and they won. So I'm happy with it.
And that's another thing you guys should remember. If you haven't downloaded the SuperDraft Pro or the SuperDraft Sportsbook app, you need to do it. You can use it in any state you're in because it's all coin based. So you can at least bet on it. You can also spin the wheel and get coins every day if you're not betting. At least you can get free coins, and at that point, you can turn those coins into gift cards, Amazon gift cards, stuff like that. So, I mean, it's free coins. So if you're at least spinning every day, you can get up there and at least get some free money. It's basically free money. So you're leaving money on the table every day if you don't do it, and you can take those coins and you can also bet them to get more coins. So if that's what he's talking about, betting. It's like any sport you can kind of think of right now, like. They have freaking I think they have like badminton and shit on there. Like
probably water polo.
Yeah, like they have like everything. Like European basketball, they have like European hockey, like NCAA. Oh yeah, that's another thing I was gonna tell you about. They're gonna have on the prop bets that are actually on the app, on the SuperDraft app for cash, they're gonna be doing NCAA.
Like player props?
Player props, yep.
Okay.
There's also a bracket coming soon, so yeah, you be on the lookout for that. There's a bunch of cool things. So yeah. So Antonio, there's a difference because there's player props for cash and then there's player props for coins. So you don't want to be somebody that there's already been some people that have accidentally bet $200 instead of 200 coins and losing that money. So just be aware that on the SuperDraft Pro app or the SuperDraft app itself, that's props is for money, but on the SuperDraft Sportsbook app, that is all coins. So just be aware of that because you don't want to be that guy who puts in you're like, oh, I don't want to bet 500 coins. I mean, if you don't have it, obviously in your shit, it won't let you. But if you have that money in there, because obviously these people clearly had the money in there and they bet it. So that's a lot of money to lose on accident.
Yep.
Anyways,
I have not done that one.
Yeah, I haven't done that either. That would be terrifying.
Even though I got enough money in my account right now, I probably could do it. But speaking of which, I got to take money out again.
Yep, keep pulling that money out.
$200.
Keep pulling that money out. And let's get this one set and let's do one crazy one.
Yeah, so
how much crazy we can do, but
I guess if you want to do Jordan Poole in this one, then put Wiggins in this one. That's one way to do it. Heck, that one's crazy enough for tonight's slate for me.
I'm good with that. Harden, Poole, Morris, Durant, Embiid, Wiggins, Jokic.
Then if you want to do the crazy one, kind of.
Go to basketball. Let's see what they got left. Oh, they got a nickel play left. Yeah, dude. Not a lot of people are going to be playing tonight.
Do the nickel one. Put the crazy one in the nickel one. Just because I want to play the crazy one in the regular one. So play Bruce Brown.
Bruce A.
I guess we'll play Moses Moody since it's a crazy one. And then just play Harden. Why not? He literally started spelling it, and this was the first name at the top. Do you want to play Drummond still, or you want to like go super crazy with Nick Claxton?
That's fine. I'm Claxton.
And then forwards, I don't even know who we play.
Blake Griffin.
Michael Green.
Yep.
Hope the other guys don't play. I mean, you can always change it if they do play. Put Tobias Harris in here just because.
What about Thibault?
Thibault's okay. It's just he doesn't get a lot of points. I mean, near's Tobias Harris lately, but who else is that forward? I guess you could put Wiggins in again.
Gordon gonna play?
He's probable, so but we already got Michael Green in. We can't put him in Michael Green.
Right. I'm good with Wiggins. I like Wiggins.
Yeah. Now this is a crazy one. I would not recommend this.
I would not recommend. That's why we're playing it in the nickel contest. And make sure y'all get into the nickel contest because I have taken first place in nickel contest. And I mean, if you play a nickel and you win $20, that's a hell of a profit.
It's a good return on investment.
Yeah. All right. Now, if you want to, you can talk a little prize pick stuff here. If you got anything.
What'd you say?
I said, if you want to, you can talk a little prize picks if you got anything.
It didn't look good this morning when I looked, but they didn't have the lines up for the second game. I can take a look again.
Oh, shit. What's up, Steven? And Steven, dude, you're welcome to come on the show too anytime, my brother. You're always welcome. Yeah, dude, they don't have the spinner. That's true. They don't have the spinner on the fucking computer. That's crazy. Yeah. Things that we're going to have to bring up. Because, like, I want to get the props like on here so we can do some prop betting. Live on here would be super dope.
See what we got here. Hey, Bruce Brown's at 9.5 points over under, and he's hit that 4 of the last 5 games. And the one game he didn't, he got 9. Let's see what else we got here. Jokic probably goes over 26.5 against Golden State. Monty Morris, 13.5. He's done the past 3 games. Kuminga's is actually at 12.5, and he's gone over that 4 of the last 5 games. A little risky though. Jordan Poole's at 15.5, and he's done it the past 4 games.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I gotta look at the second game. So Monty Morris is at 4 assists. He's had at least 4 assists the past 5 games, but he's pushed 3 of the games too. So there is that.
All right, that's all set up. Yeah, it's too bad we can't. I'm gonna have to figure it out on my phone. Like I'll have to work on that to where I can get my phone hooked up so that y'all at home can see me making player props right here on the computer screen. There is a way that I can do that.
Yeah. So
tomorrow I'll have it all ready so that we can do that because I'd like to make some prop bets or at least do some parlays. There's some other stuff you can do in there too. On the SuperDraft sportsbook app, you can actually do parlays. Did you know that?
What do you mean? Like, yeah, it's not that hard. You just keep
Game
clicking on
parlay.
stuff.
Well,
Yeah.
there's if you look at the top of the screen, you can do parlays, and you can do. There's another thing where like, what the hell is it called? Round robin or something
Oh,
like
yeah.
that. Is that what it's called?
I-
It's basically where like you could pick 3, but you don't have to win all 3. But you get
Yeah,
more
this is
points.
like it's the same thing as a flex play is on Prize Picks, essentially.
Yeah. So it's super cool. I mean, I didn't know that. And Joel Mama was showing me some of that stuff. So and I appreciate that, Joel. But yeah, that's what those Monday night shows are for. When I told you about that, so the Monday night get-togethers when we do that with Wendy, like it's basically for us to kind of learn some of that extra stuff together. It's not really corporate stuff. It's more like learning the app, or, stuff like that. Because there are a lot of things that I didn't even know about that are on here still. What, David? How many coins you got? I think I'm over 21.
I got mine's like 36,000.
Yeah, here's the crazy. I started making some big bets. The one bet I should have bet on is a bigger bet because the Alabama game, when they were supposed to lose, they were projected to lose against, who was it?
Georgia the first time, not in the
Yeah,
national
I bet
championship.
on them to win, and they ended up winning. I wish I would have bet a lot more coins. A lot of people betted them to lose.
Let's see. I bet 4,000 coins on Kansas to win today. But it wasn't that great of a payout, really. So, because essentially you won 798 coins off it.
Yeah, I mean, I like the app. I mean, I like there's a lot of cool things on there too on the sportsbook app too, because they have like it's not only just player props, they also have like a competition where you can play against everybody that's playing, and then basically it's a weekly tournament. So you basically make your bets, and whoever has the most coins at the end of the week gets bonus coins. So like you make bets, and then obviously you start at 0 that week. I mean, you have your coins, but you start at 0 in the tournament, and then as you make bets through the week, and then you can at the end of the week too, you can make like a crazy bet, like bet all your coins that if you want in there against that, and then like bet it on a game to triple your coins or whatever shit like that. But
I think the coins that are in there don't actually count towards your coins either.
Yeah, you might be right. They count towards the coins if you win though.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think they give you a certain amount of coins each week, so that's another thing. Like also,
there's like so many like each day or whatever too.
There's also the casino games if you guys need to get into that. There's a big casino tournament coming up. I'll have to find out the date. I think it's for St. Patrick's Day, so they'll do like usually it's a Saturday they'll do it, and it's 24 hours. So you basically whoever I think it's like top 20 they win like gift cards for Amazon, which is sweet. So if you get first, like $100 gift card. And and they give you 50,000 coins for free to play. So you just use those coins, and it's built on an algorithm. So even if you have, if you do max bid or if you do the lowest bid, it doesn't matter. It's just based off an algorithm. So that's how it works. It's pretty cool. It's pretty addicting. That's the only shitty thing. Like I told you the other day, I was just sitting on the toilet playing the game, and I sat there for 15 minutes, and I won a shit ton of money. You just got to learn what to kind of play and where to play. So there's certain games that I really like that I've won a lot of money on. Coins, I should say, not money. But yeah. What else we got going on?
Nothing. We don't have any projected lineups yet. Really. Tomorrow's it's like an NBA, it's the pick'em thing. Where you pick you have like the $5, the $4, the $3, $2, $1 one.
Oh yeah. So you have the $15. It's like a 15. What do they call it?
NBA. Well, I think they just called it the NBA 15. But that's the pro contest tomorrow.
Yeah, you get $15 to spend.
Yeah, so we'll talk about the main slate. We'll talk about that.
So, I think it's like each tier. There's a tier of $5 players, tier of $4 players, tier of $3, two, and tier of 1. So you pick from theirs to make up $15 worth of players. It's kind of cool.
And what I like to do too is like sometimes with those, I won't take like the $4 player, or like I'll do like a $5 player. I won't take a $4 player. I'll take the $3 player, and then I'll get like two $2 players, or like because it makes your life different. it makes your lineup different just because like pretty much everybody's going to take one $5, one $4, one $3, one $2, one $1. But if you kind of switch it up a little bit, you have a difference in yours.
Yeah, I don't like doing that.
And sometimes it's a
spend
little
up
bit
and get 2 high players and then drop all the way down, or just play a bunch of low players and maybe 1 high player.
There's different ways to do it.
Yeah. And Steven, it's been too damn cold to work here apparently. And then when you work outside in the wintertime, it sucks. So I've been off work, not making money. That's what's the shitty thing. Wish I was working. Instead I get to hang out with you guys.
Yep.
Oh shit, you says Super 15 is a $15 contest. No, it's not. It's not. It doesn't mean. I guess yes, it says $15 contest. I'm pretty sure that's what it says. There was some up.
There's different ones.
No, there was some up here. We can pull it up real quick so you can see. Come on, load. Where's that? Right here, yeah. See how it says the 15 right here?
Yeah.
So if you click on this game, we're not going to set one up, but we'll set one up, but I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, that's just for today's though. But
so yeah, this is kind of what it looks like. This is the NBA, or what do they call it? Super 15.
Yep.
So you can see here, there's 5. So there's the $5 players. So there's a line of $5 players, $4 players, $3 players, $2 players, $1 players. So basically, you'd have to take these players and make $15 salary cap is what you have.
Yep.
So that's what it'll be for tomorrow. It's kind of cool. Yeah, the basketball league kind of fell through just because we didn't have enough players to play in time. So if anybody that's in there, if you guys are in that league, we're going to turn into football league, and we're going to start drafting once we get it filled. So I'm going to set some rules and stuff like that. Craig and I will get to talking so we can have we'll be on the same page, same level, and we can come up with our own rules that we like. Be a little bit different than everybody else that's out there, but it is going to be IDP, but it's also I think the first one will just make it kind of simple, but we are going to do one that's Devy. So if anybody that's interested in Devy, which is basically being able to draft college players, and they basically sit on your bench until they can come into the league, and you can trade them if you want. So it's just another whole nother aspect of fantasy football. And if you follow college football, then you'll love this aspect, because then you can bring players onto your team that you've been following through college, instead of like waiting until they get to the NFL, you can draft them before they're there. And I know there's like College to Canton, which is super cool, which is basically, there's a whole nother, aspect of being able to play. Don't you guys play 2 separate leagues? So like one's just for college and one's just for NFL.
Yep. What was it? I think it was for the NFL. I won a lot of NFL stuff on these on the 15 ones.
Yeah, the 15 ones I was doing pretty well. Actually, the 15 one was the first place one I took, and I think I was when I was in the basic. So when I was signed up for basic, that's what made me bump up, because I hit first place, and I was like, son of a bitch, I would have made so much money. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's cool. A cool concept. It's just different because not everybody has, there's no multipliers involved too, so you have to be smart. Everyone has a different way of doing it, so it's kind of interesting. So we're gonna definitely be on tomorrow again, same time. We'll talk about that for a little bit, but obviously we'll get into the main slate again. How many games are tomorrow?
10.
Yes.
So we went from 12 to 2 to 10 because that's how the NBA does.
It's fine with me. I actually like 10. 10's like perfect.
I like 8.
Yeah.
You can just give me like 8, because then there's kind of like a good mix. But there's some days where we have like 10 games and it just sucks, and then there's other days where you have like 6 games and it's perfect.
That's true. You're right. You're right. Andrew says, yes, love IDP. Really interesting drafting both offense and defense. The IDP scoring has been a bit confusing or different from each platform. Yeah, that's all right, though. We'll probably be using IDP 1, 2, 3 scoring just because it's pretty normalized. Something like that. And we'll also be doing like, super flex and I don't know. We like to get crazy. It's gotta be crazy enough to where everybody can make their drafting strategy different. Otherwise, it's not. I don't know. It's not as fun to me. It makes trading a lot more interesting too. Just in my opinion.
I'm just the Scrooge McDuck that hates trading.
Why? I love trading.
Because like people,
I know everyone values their players differently, and they're jerks
like,
about it.
I don't know. Most people like when it comes to trading, a lot of people are like annoying about it. Like they either bug the crap out of you, or they're like, it's hard to explain.
I guess my thoughts on trading is I'm not somebody who will let a trade sit in my inbox just because out of spite. I'm not going to accept a trade. Like
that's me.
I can't do that.
If you offer me a crappy trade, it's going to sit there for like a month.
Too disrespectful. I know if it's crappy, I'll just be like, dude, it's shitty. Like, don't send me anything like this again. If you want to make a trade, I'll send you a counter. And if it's that bad, then clearly we're not anywhere near whatever. Like, but to me, that's yeah.
So this is what Andrew said. These are the lineups tonight: Philly, Maxey, Harden, Thibault, Harris, and Embiid, Nets, Kyrie, Seth, Durant, Brown, and Drummond. So no surprises. I don't even think. Oh yeah, so mine just confirmed too. So that is correct.
And Andrew, I'll just start sending you a link if you ever want to come on. You're always welcome because we love having you on, dude. You're full of information too. Anybody that's full of information, we love having in our circle. Everyone has something crazy to say, and I love it.
As long as you're not full of poo.
Yeah, no, nobody that's full of shit or full of themselves, please. Can't have that here on this network. It's one big happy family of friends making money together. That's all it should be. And I mean, fantasy football, we're going to be getting into that. We're going to be doing some content here soon. We're going to do some risers and fallers and in the draft, or obviously at the combine, because our man here was at the combine, getting the full scoop of all the players. And I mean, we don't want you guys getting into your drafts or beforehand. If you have, like, say you're already in some leagues to where you can trade some of your rookie draft picks, we don't want you getting super excited over players that are getting hyped up in the offseason because of highlight reels. Highlight reels can be the death of you. You got to think about the low lights too. Anything that's low, that's something you need to look at too. Anything that, I mean, people they're gonna test well in certain areas, but you also got to look at where they played in college, who they played with, who they played against, stuff like that too. I mean, it's not just the combine, it's not just highlights.
David. David, if you send me that offer, it's just gonna sit there for like a month, and then like after the month, I'll like delete it and just be like, okay.
Yep. Everyone that's the crazy thing with trading. I love trading. I'm a huge trader. Like, I like to trade all fucking day.
What I don't like about trading is like the people like, you send me an offer, I counter an offer. You kind of like, I don't want to go back and forth countering offers for like 6 days straight. Like, just send me a message and say, hey, this is what I'm looking for. Like, blah, blah, this is who I'm willing to trade. Like, if you do trading right, it's easy and it's fun. But most people do trading wrong, and they're just a pain in the butt.
I think what it is, though, is like everyone has different values on players. This is why I'm going to tell you this right now. Here's one of the best pieces of advice you can get from somebody who used the same thing and used to do the same thing and learned the hard way. Do not use calculators. Trading calculators are the dumbest fucking thing ever. It's just a computer or somebody else that's put these into a computer that what they think is the value of these players going up against other players. You're basically trusting somebody else's insight or input on how they value that player or those players in this calculator. So if there's only 4 or 5 people that value, I mean, most of them that they're going to be in the same site are going to be either valuing the same players pretty much the same or close, and it can affect a lot.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's fine. Like, if you just want to use one to like kind of look something up, like see if, hey, is this trade fair on paper or whatever. But it's hard to know like league to league and like different settings and all that stuff too. But like, I had somebody offer me, that was like 2 years ago for Kareem Hunt, they're offering me like crap. It was like N'Keal Harry and some bad person, like a 3rd round pick, and they're like, oh, the trade calculator says it's a good trade. I'm like, your trade calculator is drunk.
Yeah, and it's like, hey, I'm going to offer you 6 players for your 1 player. So now I have to drop 5 players in order for you to this trade to be good. Like, no, that doesn't. So just a little piece of advice. Yeah, trade calculator is good only if you're using it for like seeing if a trade coming in is bad or seeing values of players. But I don't even think those values are always correct. So it's just take it with a grain of salt. Don't use it for trading.
Yeah.
Don't use it as a crutch for trading.
Honestly, I just like if I have a trade I'm kind of stuck on, like I'll bounce like trades off people and be like, hey, what do you think about this? Because I trust like people more, but most of the time, like I know either way. So, and for me, like I'm not somebody that just like don't trade just to trade either. Like that's the worst thing you can do. Like you just trade because you're bored. Don't do that. So for me, like I trade like I have a need.
Steven in
What?
here. Where's he at? Yeah, Steven, don't trade just to trade.
Yeah.
A lot of
So
startups last
don't
year.
overreact either, because like my roommate used to be this way too. It's like, okay, so it'd be like week 3 and he's like, well, I'm like 1 and 2 and these guys aren't performing. Got to trade them off and get the guys that are hot or whatever, you know.
And there
And
goes Justin Jefferson.
yeah, it took a long time for him to kind of grasp that, but doing better
You're
now.
like,
But like if I'm trading, like say I'm trading because I need a running back, because like in Dynasty I had Derrick Henry and he got hurt, so now I need a running back, so now I'm going to trade for something of need. I'm not trading just because I want another running back or I want a 3rd running back or a 4th running back or whatever it is. I'm trading because I actually need something. And that, yes, sometimes people can try to take advantage of you because of that, but hey, it is what it is.
It is what it is. Yeah, don't ever let anybody take advantage of you.
Well, I mean, that's part of the problem with trading too, is everybody has to win the trade.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and like most trades aren't won like at the actual time of the trade either. So
I agree 100% with that too. So like, I guess like if you're in a draft, right, a startup draft, and if you're trading for the future, and it just depends on how you want to build your lineup, right? If you're like, all right, I don't really want to win this year, I want to build and have a couple years where I'm going to have an awesome like couple years, you know. Most people are like, I'm going to build for the now and then I'll trade away later. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But at the same time, like say if you build for the now and you are trading away future stuff, right? And all of a sudden your team starts falling apart. Now you're screwed. So
I built for the now in one of my leagues last year just because it's like I knew it was a league you couldn't trade back in anyways. I'm like, well, I was like, well, might as well just try to win now. But then Brady retired. I'm like, well, I'll get 2 years out of Brady at least. But like I picked him in like the 10th round too, so it's not like a big deal.
yeah, that shit's crazy. People offering crazy shit like that. Yeah, I mean, especially like now after this whole Ridley thing, like that's ridiculous.
So supposedly they had a trade done with the Eagles for Calvin Ridley that like both teams were okay with, and then the Falcons are like, yeah, we can't do it because like they knew this was the thing. It's just like, well, if we do this, we're just gonna look like assholes pretty much, and nobody's ever gonna want to trade with us again.
Yeah, I mean, that's good karma then. That's really good karma. Then the Falcons should have an opportunity next year to do well. That's super good karma then right there.
Even they'll suck.
Go ahead, man. I mean, you were there. Who do you think is a good top QB coming out of the draft?
So I think this is a loaded question, just because like from a fantasy perspective and for a real life perspective is 2 different things.
Correct.
I think in terms of quarterbacks, the prospect that has the best chance of being successful is probably Sam Howell. The quarterback with the highest ceiling, especially from a fantasy perspective, is going to be Malik Willis because he has the rushing ability, obviously. And, you know, Sam Howell can run around too. I think if you need a quarterback that you have to, like, if I told you were the head coach of the, I don't know who, Panthers, we'll just use the Panthers, and you have to go out and win the game tomorrow, and I got to put one of those quarterbacks in to win right now, probably going to be Carson Strong. Like, he's probably the one that you can plug and play. Like, people say Kenny Pickett's like the most NFL ready or pro ready or whatever too, but like he's the guy with the lowest, like at the end of the day, he's probably the guy with the lowest upside, like when it's all said and done, because he's already old anyways. And yes, he can run around. So like he can move more than Carson Strong can at least, but he has an average arm. Yeah. To me, like my comp for Kenny Pickett is Jake Plummer.
Oof.
who, like, he was a decent, like, he was an okay starting quarterback. He was never good. He was never great. I think he made one Pro Bowl like in his entire career. He could move around. Didn't have the strongest arm in the world. Kind of, they're kind of the same.
Yeah, small hands.
So people overreacting to it. I don't think it's a complete overreaction because we've only seen one other quarterback in the NFL have 8.5-inch hands. That happened to be Michael Vick, which is a completely different player because he had a cannon for an arm and he could run around all day. Kenny Pickett is not that guy. The smallest quarterback, the quarterback with the smallest hands right now is Taysom Hill. And we've seen Taysom Hill have problems holding onto the ball, especially last year. So it is a concern. And supposedly they were 8.25, but he did some hand exercises to kind of stretch him out a little bit further. But it just depends on where he plays, honestly, too. The NFL ball is a little bit bigger than college ball. There's a lot of different things there, too. I think he's kind of the same, like, he's safe-ish. But, like, if you're drafting him in the first round, like 4 years from now, like, what do you have? Like, you have maybe a middle-of-the-road starter. Like, he's a guy that's not going to really get better. And I think that's like the same issue with Carson Strong is he's safe. He's not going to be mobile. So you're going to have an offensive line around him. He's a guy that every once in a while he doesn't make the best decisions, but he's got a big arm. He makes tight window throws. He goes through progressions pretty well. So, and they're just trying to knock him down like after the combine. I'm like, I don't even get it, but that's a whole nother story for a different day. We'll be talking about that soon. So yeah, and like a lot of people like Matt Corral, and I just don't really get it. Like he's got some upside, but it's going to take some work. Like, and most of it's from this year, but like Ole Miss like dumbed down the playbook super much, and like Ole Miss playbook doesn't translate to the NFL like at all. So we'll see how he does at his pro day. That's going to be a big thing for him.
Well, I mean, Zach Wilson had a hell of a pro day too to make him the second overall pick.
Well, Zach Wilson was a top 5 pick either way, so.
No, I'm not hating on him at all in any sense of the way. I'm just saying pro day. You know, Lance had a good pro day too. I mean, he had a good pro day too, and just a lot of these guys aren't going to be NFL ready. I mean, to start right away.
And I mean, like, if you're comparing Zach Lance to like Matt Corral or some of these other quarterbacks, it's not even close.
No, I agree. And like Malik Willis is a super talented quarterback. I mean, it's just like I feel like he's not NFL. He's definitely a project. He's got a lot of upside. He's really fast. He's a
poor man's Justin Fields.
Yeah,
is what he is.
He could be a Hurts though. That's the thing, is that he could be a Hurts if somebody needs time to play. God.
It's just so like people compare him to Hurts, but like Hurts was even more ready than this.
I'm saying they need to get him ready. Somebody needs this is what I said. I think I said it to you a couple times, and I don't know if you like my take, but I think he'd be a good landing spot would be the Falcons. I think it would be a good spot for him just for the fact that he could learn from somebody like, Matt Ryan, who understands how to play the field. And he's like a field general at the same time, has a good arm and knows how to play well. And like if he could sit behind him and learn,
I don't know.
It's a good place for him. Or I mean, he needs to learn from someone like that.
Yeah.
He's been in the NFL for a while.
And the problem is he's going to get drafted by like Carolina or ideally. Okay, so here's the ideal situation. He goes to Washington, sits behind Carson Wentz for a year or two. That's the ideal situation. But like the thing that is so worrisome when you talk about Malik Willis is, yes, he's a super raw, talented athlete, but he's already 23. Like, it's not like he's a 21-year-old coming in and doing this.
No,
he's a 23-year-old that played at Liberty and had some success there. Got beat out at Auburn, had to transfer. So there's like, yes, the ceiling is super high, but there's a lot of ways this goes wrong.
I'm not saying I don't disagree with you at all.
Yep. I mean, if you went on if you went to the Texans and Pep Hamilton worked with him, it probably works out, but that's just Pep Hamilton, though. He might turn into a god if that was the case, but I don't really want him on the Texans. So
we'll see where he ends up. I mean,
number 3 at least.
We're getting close to the draft. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's going to happen in between too. I mean, there's still a lot of trades that can happen. Free agency's still got to come. I mean, there's a lot of stuff to come.
Next week.
Yeah, so there's a lot to come yet. I mean, we're going to see some big moves. But just remember last year, all the big moves that happened. People were just blown away by some players that were moved, you know?
We already had that.
I'm excited. I mean, I love the offseason, just seeing players get moved around that can potentially do better than where they were at before. You know, like Amari Cooper is going to be gone. Where is he going to end up?
Well, he's not gone. They moved around the
Yeah.
cap so that they can still keep him for now.
Dude, they're going to draft another receiver. You already know Jerry Jones. He's crazy like that. He'll do something nuts like that. He'll be like, oh, who are the Eagles looking at? I want that guy.
But yeah, no, Jerry doesn't care. He's just going to draft whoever the best player on the board is. He doesn't care what position they play. And that's the way you should draft in the NFL too, because you don't know what's going to happen year to year.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Unless you have a massive hole like at some position. So like just I don't know.
Or trade back if you want to. Like that's the thing about when we're doing our our drafts, our startup drafts is like if you have an opportunity and somebody's desperate enough to try to trade up to get a player, and if there's players in these later rounds that you're like, all right, well maybe I can get 2 or 3 of these guys that could potentially be just as good as this guy. Well, why wouldn't you want to trade back? Get a bunch of, or you're like, all right, well I'll get picks next year with this class. It's going to be insane, and I'll trade away my spec.
Dave said offensive line. Watch. I'm like, not sure who you're talking about offensive line for, but
for Dallas maybe.
They need offensive linemen. Like just because Tyron Smith's not spring chicken anymore. Like they just need to build it back up a little bit. But I wouldn't be surprised. It's a very good offensive. It's a very deep offensive line class. Let's put it that way. There's been more top end, like obviously Tristan Wirth, Andrew Thomas, Jedrick Wills. That class, Mekhi Becton. That class was higher end than these guys, but there's more depth in this class than there was in that class.
We're definitely getting into some more football talks. I appreciate you guys coming in and having your questions because, obviously that's what we're going to be doing. Obviously, it's not just basketball, not just Super Draft. This whole channel is going to be, a bunch of different things. We want you guys to be as prepared as you can. I mean, this is pretty much draft season starting if you're in Dynasty. We want you guys to be prepared, and we don't want you to be overhyped over. You're going to be watching some other YouTube videos and following some other people that are going to overhype players, and we don't want that to happen. We want y'all to understand, highlights aren't everything, and a lot of people get so amped about highlights.
Jerry does call all the shots, so
yes. I thought the Texans were all about Johnny Football. I thought they were the ones who were.
He wanted to go there. That was the thing.
They didn't want him. That lawyer that's suing Watson. He's the one who put up billboards everywhere. He wanted Johnny Football.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in Houston that wanted him. He wanted to go there, but they didn't want him. The team didn't want him, at least.
I don't know. Yeah,
back when we had ownership that actually gave a crap, and the real GM.
And I bet you're another thing. It's like I bet you're hyped as hell now that MLB they came to a deal. I bet you're excited about
tentative deal. It's not official yet.
Oh, they'll get it through. They wouldn't put out this stuff if they didn't. They're going to go into another lockout. No way.
You never know with them. They had tentative deals how many times in the COVID shortened season? So I'm not saying anything until it's official.
That's true. But anyways, we'll probably get up out of here. We'll be back, obviously, for basketball tomorrow night. We'll talk about the Super 15 contest. We'll also be talking about, the full main slate like we always do every night. And then maybe we'll talk a little bit of football tomorrow night if we're feeling a little frisky. Maybe we'll get into something. Maybe we get a little preview in for some of our new shows we got coming out.
So Steven does have an influence on Jerry Jones now, but it's been like the last 2 or 3 years that's been the case. So not back when Johnny was coming out.
Yeah.
But
David, you're the fucking man. I love you, dude. Appreciate you always being here. Appreciate everyone showing up tonight. Andrew, you're always welcome to come on the show. We're going to obviously be doing something for NASCAR. We might do something the night before, maybe talk a little bit about what you saw in the pre-race and stuff like that. After we, talk basketball, and there'll be obviously MMA in the morning or I think we'll do a show for that too. So
UFC.
just be on the lookout for everything. There's a lot of shit coming.
Yep.
Yeah, fucking shit. Anyways, appreciate y'all. You got anything to say? Tell them where to find you at. Anything else besides that?
So you can find me on Twitter at Coach Craig Sport. You can find me on YouTube at Coach Craig Sports. You can find me on patreon.com/Coach Craig Sports. You can find me on the Stacks app at Coach Craig Sports. And the Stacks app is actually having a NCAA tournament contest too. I tweeted out their tweet. You can find it on their thing, but you have to be a person on the Stacks app and you have to have an active account. So it means you can't just make an account and then join the contest thing. You got to actually post some reactions to some videos and some stacks. It's not that hard. Probably takes 20 seconds out of your day. But if you get in there, I think they're doing like a signed Glenn Rice jersey is the top prize, and then they're going to have a couple other prizes. So definitely be sure to check that out. If you have any questions about it, just get a hold of me.
And you know what? I think we're gonna do something too. We're gonna do a bracket as well, and I'll get a jersey too. We'll get a signed jersey from something. I'll figure it out. You and I'll get together and talk about who we want. We'll just throw together some. I mean, we'll find a NCAA jersey that's. I mean, even if it's somebody from the past. That's.
I wonder if there's like. I have to look and see if there's like Allen Iverson Georgetown jersey. That'd be kind of cool.
I'm down for that. We'll look on Pristine. So if anybody wants to be in this, if anybody wants to be in the bracket with us, shoot me or Coach Craig a message on Twitter. If you do not have Twitter, I guess you can shoot me an email. If you want to shoot me an email, jcmoneydesign@gmail.com. So it's just jcmoneydesign@gmail.com. You can shoot me an email, or you can hit me up on Instagram, jcmoneydesign as well. Otherwise, you can find me on Facebook. I'm sure you can find me pretty easily. Otherwise, yeah, I mean, we would like to get this contest going because it would be dope. It would be dope to be doing some giveaways, especially to y'all who are super loyal. Appreciate y'all being here. Anyways, we'll be back tomorrow night. Anything else, brother?
Nope, that's it.
Before we get out of here, let's win them golf contests. I want to win some golf money. I like winning golf contests. That shit's fun.
And they're probably gonna cut that stuff off at like 6 or 7 o'clock because it's gonna be dark there in Florida. So,
well, shit, it's got to be. Yeah, I agree.
It's
or
dark
like
here.
Legend of Bagger Vance, where they get all the cars out there and just point all the lights out there. Oh shit. Anyways, yeah. Appreciate y'all being here. Let's win some money in basketball tonight. Yeah. See you guys tomorrow. Peace.
Pushing forward, coast to coast, state to state, city to city, Floyd Dilly like the late great Biggie. Baby.
Life ain't sweet if you know what I mean. Try to go legit and follow my dreams. Life ain't sweet if you know what I mean. Try to go legit and follow my dreams. Life ain't sweet if you know what I mean. Try to go legit and follow my dreams. Life ain't sweet if you know what I mean. Try to go legit and follow my dreams.